Hello guys, welcome to this channel. Today we'll be starting our graphical user interface component development in Java. If you have any issues regarding how to install NetBeans IDE or how to configure it, please refer to my old videos I made on this channel about installation, or if you have further issues, you can comment below. I'll be helping you out on how to configure the NetBeans IDE. So we'll start with creating a new project. We click on File, New Project, Java. We select Java, then we say Next. We'll give our project a name. Let me name mine Tech Bro 63. So this will be our project location and this will be our project folder. So in case you want to use dedicated folder for storing libraries, you can click this. It will ask you if you need a main method to be created for you automatically, so you leave this checked. If you uncheck this, then you'll have to create this main method manually. So let me click Next. So I click Finish, and the project is already created. So this is the main class which I was talking about. So this is the main method which I was talking about. This is the class. So this is our package. So I'll delete this to make the workspace neat. So let me leave this. So today we will start by developing the frame, and in Java we call it the JFrame. So a JFrame, this is the main container or the main component where all other components are added. For example, in this IDE, do you see where we have this X, this restore and the minimize? So these are part of the JFrame. So also this logo you see here, they are part of the JFrame. So how do we create this JFrame? We'll start by instantiating the frame. So JFrame, we give it a name, my frame equals to new JFrame. We'll need to import the JFrame. So guys, there are three main things which we need when creating a JFrame. 1, we need to instantiate the frame. 2, we need to give our frame a name. 3, we need to set our frame visible so that if we run our program, the frame can be displayed or our program can show something. If you don't make the frame visible, your program will not show anything when you run it. So let us give our frame a name. We'll give it a name. We will get this my frame or the frame name, and we will use the .setTitle. The .setTitle method which takes in a string. So we'll give it a name. I'll name mine Tech Bro 63. So guys, if we run our program from here, it will not display anything. Why? Because we haven't set our frame to be visible. Let me run the frame. So I think you see the execution has finished, but nothing is displayed. So let me make this frame visible. We'll use the frame name .set visible. So it takes in a boolean, and I'll set the visibility to true. So I'll run the program again. So this time round, you can see that we have our frame created. It's here, very small in the corner. Let me resize it. So here is our frame, and this is the frame title. Let me close this frame. By default, this close button it's set to hide, not to close. What do I mean? Let me click it. When you click it, you see here down, our program is still running. It is not closed. So that means it has just hidden the JFrame, because here it is still running. So let me close our program from here. Also, another thing I would like to throw light on is we can set our frame title at the same time or in the same line where we instantiated the frame. What do I mean? I'll copy this title from here and comment out this line. Then I'll put the title here and I'll run this program again. So I think you can see our frame, it's here in the corner with our title, like nothing changed. So we have done everything in that single line. So let me close this program again. So another thing we can do, we can set the default close operation. This will enable us to close our program once we click on the close button. So how do we set this? So we use the JFrame. This is our frame name. So we will use this. Then we will say .set default close operation. Then we have to define the operation. How do we define it? JFrame. So what can we do here? We can say do nothing on close. We can say exit on close. So let me show you what do nothing on close does. Let me run the program. So if you say do nothing on close, that means even if you click on this close button, nothing will be done. So I don't know why you would like to do that, but it depends. Whatever reason you would have, just know that you can prevent a user from closing your program. So let me close it from here. We also have what we call the exit on close, which will enable the user to close the program using that close button. So let me run again. If I resize our frame, so if you close this button, if you click this button, you will be able to close the program. So if I click here, you will notice that also here the program will be closed. So let me close it. So I think you can see that also here it is closed. So those are some of the operations or the modifications we can do on our frame. But we have other things we can also do. For example, we can set the frame size so that we stop seeing our frame here when it is too small. How do we do that? We get our frame name and we say .set size. We use the .set size method. This can take in a dimension, or it can take in the width and height. First, I'll show you how to use the width and height. So let me define a width of 500 and a height of 500. If I run, so I think now you can see that our frame has a width of 500 and a height of 500, so it is big. So let me show you how we can use the dots, how we can use the dimension. So what do I mean? If you come here to dot set size and we take the dimension, this will take in the dimension. So how do we do this? We create a new dimension. So a new dimension, let me create a dimension of 500 by 500. So we will need to add an import for the dimension. We have a spelling error. So if I come here to import the dimension, it is from the java.awt. I will say yes. So our error will disappear. And I will run the program again. So I think you can see that nothing changed. So we have set a dimension of 500 by 500. Before we had a width and height of 500 by 500. So that's how we can use the set size when using the dimension, and we can also use the height and width. So let me close the project. Another thing, we can prevent users from resizing this window or this frame. What do I mean? Do you see this frame? If you come here, you can resize it. So that means it is set to be resized by default. So let me show you how you can prevent users from resizing it. We can use the frame name, which is my frame, dot set resizable. It's a boolean. If you leave it to true, users will be able to resize your frame. But if you say false, they will not be able to. So when I run the program, this is our frame. So you cannot resize it anymore because resizing is set to false. So that is it. Also, we can do other things, like we can set the background color. So what do I mean? We can take our frame name. For the background color, we can't set it directly, but we can do what we call method chaining. So what do I mean? We can change the background color through the content pane of the JFrame. So this is how we do it. You get your frame name, then you say .get content pane, so that you can get the content pane. So we have got our content pane, then you say .set background. So when you choose the background which takes in a color, it has given you color.red. So we can make this color yellow. Let me run this and you see if we have any effect on our frame. I think you can see that now our JFrame is yellow. So we can use normal colors like yellow, red, green, blue, but we can as well use RGB colors and hexa colors. What do I mean? I'll come here. Instead of color.yellow, I'll say new color. And I'll pass in RGB color. I'll say 0, 0, 0. So we'll need to do a color import. We import the color. So let me run this. I think this is black. Yeah, this is black RGB. 0 0, this is black, so we can pass in RGB values. But you should put in consideration that these RGB values, they don't have to exceed 255. What do I mean? The highest value which can be taken in is 255. For example, let me use this. So the middle one, it's a green, so that's green. But I have told you the highest value which can be taken in is 255. Now let me make this 256 and I show you what I'm meaning. So if you run the project, you see it will be throwing an exception or an error here, complaining of the color. So it is complaining about the color parameter. 256 is higher than 255. So I'll make this 255. So you can change these other parameters as well. For example, let me make this 1, 2, 3. I can come here and I make this a 5 and then run, and I see which random color is this one. So this is what we get, green, but there is a little effect. Let me put this one to 10 and I see. So this is now what we have. So I'm just trying out random colors. So alternatively, we can use hexa colors. What do I mean? For example, here I can just come here and I say 0 x, let me use f, 1 2 3 4 5 6. They have to be 6 after x. I think f is for black, if I'm not mistaken. No, f is for white. So I think you can see that we have white. Our JFrame is white. So we can make it black. How? We can put only zeros, 6 zeros here. 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I run this, hopefully our JFrame is now black. So our JFrame is now black. So you can play around with colors more as you want. So if you want to know more about colors, you can check out Google you Google on hexa colors and RGB colors, so that you can customize your JFrame more according to your desires. But for now, these are the basic customizations you need on your frame. So you should also put in mind that a JFrame is the main container. Without a JFrame, you cannot add these other components. So guys, let's meet in the next session where we'll be seeing how to develop other components.